Hello!
Hello! Happy Saturday morning.
Happy June 16th.
It is June 16th. Happy Saturday morning live. I'm Braden.
I'm
is
Leanna.
Thank you for joining us today. Grab your cocktails. We won't, because why won't we?
Well, because we're not allowed to drink in the public access studio, unfortunately, which is...
We had to cut some costs around here.
Cut costs? No, budget's going up and up and up. We keep getting more sponsors.
You're right. I apologize. But I'm saying because we wanted to take advantage of the public access studio.
Yes.
Because we have a great episode because it's Pride Month.
Yes.
If you couldn't notice, we decided to come here, so we had to cut assets, I guess you could say.
Yeah, we had to cut the alcohol out, but we're still...
We're still going to give it to you.
We're going to give you all we got.
Yeah. Who do we have on today?
Oh, we have so many people on today.
So many people. Actually, so many people. Two people.
We have two people. And maybe
guests.
a surprise guest.
Oh, really? I don't even know about this surprise guest.
I heard a word from our producer that somebody new was going to be on the show today.
Oh,
so.
God. This didn't get ran by me.
Okay, so, but of course we start every show with the same game.
Who tweeted?
Who tweeted?
That was that.
Oh, I love that song. I never get tired of hearing it. What?
I forgot to mention that something is new about me today.
Oh.
What's new? Can you tell?
Braden parts his hair on a different side now.
I do. I do. I went to the barber yesterday.
June 15th.
June 15th. And I said, you know what? I want to change it up. Actually, the real reason I did it is because my hair has normally been going this way for so long that the roots get so natural to going this way, so my hair loses volume.
So we need to switch seats now?
We could. But then this is this is how we are.
Okay.
But anyway, so I flipped it this way and the volume's up and up and up. Who tweeted?
That's why who tweeted. You know how we play this game? We play it every month, and we are going to read a celebrity tweet, and we'll try to guess who tweeted it.
But what's the tweet about this month?
This month, it's all Pride-themed tweets.
Yes.
So if you guess the person who tweeted it, you drink 2 drinks.
You drink 2 drinks. We'll just take really a nice big breath of fresh oxygen.
And if you don't guess it, then you take 1 drink and we'll just hold our breaths.
Yep.
So.
All right. Am I going first? You go first?
You go first.
I went first last time. You go first.
Okay. Get ready. # Boston Pride. Melissa Etheridge and I are ready to dance. Pride 2018.
That is Senator Elizabeth Warren, because I saw her Instagram post last week. I know, I'm right. 2 breaths.
Okay.
And she was also wearing a rainbow boa, and the soles of her shoes were rainbowed.
Love her.
I'm so glad you picked that. I'm so glad I guessed it right.
Miss Warren, if you want to be on the show, just contact our producers.
Yep, and we're looking for more sponsors out there.
Yep.
Okay, you ready for mine?
I'm ready.
Every loving couple and family deserves to be recognized and treated equally under the law across our nation. # love must win. # love can't wait. -H.
Oh. Is it Hillary?
Hillary who?
Rodham Clinton?
What's the preface of Hillary Rodham Clinton?
Queen?
Yeah, okay. I'll take that. You're right. Take 2 big, deep breaths.
Oh.
You deserve that fresh air.
Oh.
That is good. We both got it right.
And wow.
Oh, look, her book is right here, too.
Oh, great. 2 representatives of our country that we admire
Appreciate and admire and wish something better could have happened 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That was a great game.
That was a good game.
But you know what?
What?
I'm feeling like a little chilly or I'm feeling hot. I'm not really sure how to prepare for Pride Month.
Yeah.
So should we? I hate to do this.
I know. You guys,
Should we check in with
I hate going to weather because it's always Colton.
He's not good. He's not prepared.
He's never where he's supposed to be.
I know. And he doesn't even give accurate weather.
He died in season 1.
He did die in season 1.
We think. Didn't go to his funeral, so not sure.
I did, and I sent a beautiful floral arrangement.
Oh, that's right.
But then he was alive.
All right, whatever. Let's
check in. We should check in.
Let's cut to weather. Let's go see.
Yep.
Colton, is there It's Colton out there?
It is not Colton. It is your new lovely weather woman, Jasmine.
Hello,
Oh my
Jasmine.
God.
What a surprise.
Yes.
Can you hear me okay? I'm out here in the field.
Yes, girl, get it. What's the weather like out there?
Well, this morning we started off with a little bit of a drizzle, but luckily Cher has called to God. The clouds have subsided. It is flaming and sunny. There are rainbows pouring from every corner of New York.
I love to hear
Yes.
that.
Oh my God.
Happy Pride.
I
Thank you,
can't
Jasmine.
believe that we have. I'm speechless.
Yes, you are.
We've gotten rid of Colton. Jasmine.
I'm not mad about that.
No, I know it's great, Jasmine. What can you tell us about yourself? How long have you been a weather person? Can you be on our show forever? Do you know what
Are you
happened
looking
to
for a
Colton?
new gig, Jasmine?
This is my first weather gig. I did a little bit of research. I looked at this month's precipitation charts.
Yes.
Ooh, yes, she is
Tidal-
qualified.
the
Precipitation.
tidal lines.
Yes.
And I wanted to make sure that we would all be able to have the most sunshine-filled explosion of happiness.
Not
that
only does she
possible.
tell the weather, she controls the weather.
Yeah, sometimes
Amazing.
I just make a little call. I have us all checked out.
All
for a
right.
month.
I love it.
Get your tank tops, thighs out, skies out.
Yes.
Leah Michelle is leading a parade down Fifth Avenue, singing her ode to Funny Girl, welcoming the month of June for us to all have a beautiful Pride celebration.
I love this.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Jasmine.
Thank you, Jasmine.
You are a breath of fresh air, and I do mean that as a pun.
What do you mean? Yeah. So we have a board member of It Gets Better Project and also a contributor to HuffPost.com. But more importantly, she wrote this beautiful Bible
Yes.
called My Son Wears Heels.
Yes.
And we also have the son who is wearing those heels on the show today, too.
That's
so we're going
right.
to have a great conversation with them.
So we are going to cut to a small word from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back with our lovely guests. And that's when I told him I couldn't be there anymore, and he slapped me in the face. Oh, thank you
Hi.
That was a great sponsor ad. Thank you
That
so
was
much.
such a great ad that I'm
I'll have to
actually.
tell you that story.
Please do.
I'll tell you that story.
I'm actually wearing some of our sponsors' products right now. So he's a
Yes.
full-on sponsor. He doesn't know this, but he is going to be a full sponsor because she's getting paid.
Yep. So go check out episode 1 and 2.
And there was like an odd one where he guessed.
Whatever, you'll find him.
You'll find one. Anyway, I'm so excited about our next guest. Like we said earlier, we have two of the most shining, brilliant stars in the entire universe here with us today. This beautiful book, I read it.
I know you
and
did.
I cried. I read it in 3 days, and I cried because it's just so beautiful and so genuine. And we thought, what more of going on theme, what perfect guest to have than Julie Tarney and Harry Hansen. Julie's the author of this beautiful book, My Son Wears Heels, and obviously Harry is the son wearing heels.
So let's bring our guests on. Please, band, cue the music. So, yep, it's gonna just a little. Okay.
Oh, that music, it never
Thank
gets
you,
old.
band.
Thank you, band.
It's hard for them to get into the studio, so we really appreciate them being here.
I know. Look how crowded they are. We have like a 47-piece orchestra.
I know.
And they're all crammed right in there. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you both so much for being here today on Saturday Morning Live.
Yes, welcome.
Thanks
you
for having us.
Introduce yourselves. I mean, I obviously know who you guys are.
Yes.
But our audience doesn't.
Yeah, I'm Harry Hansen. Thank you for having me, Braden, Leanna.
Yeah, you're so
Pleasure to be here. And this is my mom.
I'm Julie Tarney, proud mom of Harry James Hansen. That's my claim to fame. Sticking to it.
I love your fingernails. They're very festive.
Thank you.
Today.
This is my Pridecure.
Yes.
I
Every
love it.
color. The red is in the lips.
Gorgeous.
I was so happy to see the balloons because it really
Yeah.
Well, we're all like on theme
cute.
today.
Yeah.
Our
Ties
Pride
it all
episode is
It's
our
great.
favorite episode every year.
Yeah, it is. Well, because that's when we have the most fun and we can just do whatever we
Yeah.
want. And it doesn't really matter. I mean, we do
Almost
that.
everything.
Yeah.
Almost everything.
Yeah.
We do that anyway. We pretty much do whatever that we want.
Except for
but-
drinking here. But
I know.
but so Julie, you have obviously you've written a book
Yes.
about Harry. You have a
Yes.
blog that is very active. What motivated you to really like take stories from your own life and then use those to talk to people?
Well, I have a friend who is director of programs for the Center on Halsted in Chicago, the LGBTQ Center. And we're very good friends. And he was over for dinner one night when I still lived in Milwaukee before I moved to Brooklyn. Harry was already in college. And he asked me how Harry was doing. He and his husband both knew Harry. And I told them that I had recently told Harry a story that from the time Harry was 2 years old, and that I had never told Harry. And it was when Harry asked me how I knew he was a boy at 2. And that was an unexpected question. And I answered it in a way that I would never answer today. I tied it to body parts. And I would never do that today. And my friend Hector at the time said, you know, Julie, there are a lot of parents that I think could relate to that experience, and that if you could share your story with them, that it might help them. The subtitle of my book is One Mom's Journey from Clueless to Kick-Ass, because I started out very clueless. I had no idea what the term gender identity meant. So after I explained to Harry what parts related to why he was a boy, he nodded, but he had that kind of squinting nod, you know, like something was going on, and the gears were turning, and I wanted to know what he was thinking. And I said, you know, Harry, that's a really interesting question. What made you think of it? And he said, well, inside my head, I'm a girl.
When he was 2.
When he was 2.
Yeah.
He was 2 and maybe 3 or 4 months. And so thus began my journey. And I have learned every step of the way. I'm still learning things from Harry. And my friend Hector said, you know, Julie, there are parents today that are having those experiences. And that was 20-some years ago that I began, or at the time that he asked me, Harry was only maybe 20, 21. And I couldn't believe that there were parents that hadn't come as far as I had in that time without instruction necessarily. So I started doing some research to see what was out there, and I found the True Colors Fund. And I was just horrified at the statistics of how many homeless youth there are, and that 40%, at the time, 40% of youth experiencing homelessness were LGBTQ. That they had been rejected by their families, kicked out, and I just thought, you know what, I ought to talk to those parents.
So that was the main inspiration for this book, is essentially talking to the parents.
It was my friend Hector saying, Julie, I think you should write a book. I was like, what? Write a book? That was not on my bucket list, believe me. But it has really given me a platform now to say, I've written this book, and let me tell you about my experiences, parents, and hopefully you can get to the kick-ass part, because your kids need you.
What's the response been?
It's been great. Good. People really enjoy it, and it's really a memoir. So it's really about me. I mean, I tell my story from Clueless to Kick-Ass through my experience being Harry's parent. And so, yes, there are stories about Harry, but it's really my change and what I go through and how I learn what it means to discover yourself and find yourself and be allowed to be yourself.
Yeah. So, Harry, when you were 2 years old, you told your mom that in your head you felt like you were a girl.
Yes.
Is it always been in your head that you feel like you're a girl? I noticed throughout the book that it changes. You go in and out. It's very fluid.
Well,
what's that like?
I think at the time, that was sort of the limited vocabulary that I had to express myself, right? I knew that most of my friends were girls, most of my role models at that time in my life were women, and I knew that I liked girl stuff. So, just because someone doesn't have the vocabulary to properly articulate their identity or their perspective doesn't mean that it's not valid and that it's not real. So in the 20-odd years since then, I've come to realize that, I'm not a girl inside my head necessarily, but I identify with things that are traditionally perceived as feminine or coded as feminine. I like girl stuff, and I'm unapologetic about it, because boy stuff is boring.
Yeah.
I think that's really interesting what you have said about just because there's not a word for it, that doesn't make it invalid. And I think that the more people speak about the gender fluidity, the more readily younger children will have that available to them to be able to express how they feel, which is why it's so important to come and talk about these stories so that people can have the words that they need to describe how they're feeling. So
Totally.
And also to not feel alone.
Yeah.
Because you were saying there were so many parents out there, or I think it was Hector that was saying moms, parents want to hear
Right.
about this. And in the past, people don't talk about this because they feel it's very taboo. But the more we talk about it, the more we realize, oh, it's actually more relevant than we think it might be.
Yeah, and I think especially with, feminine boys or effeminate boys, people who are assigned male at birth, there's still this stigma that, it's because their mother has failed them and she was overbearing and too controlling and, so that was something that my mom came up against for sure.
Yeah.
And I was petrified of that because the idea was that if you had a son who was effeminate and liked girl stuff, that you were doing something wrong to that child. And I was controlling.
No.
I was controlling. I went, oh my God, how is this happening? What am I doing?
But you were only controlling because that's what you were taught. No, you didn't know that there was any way to not be controlling.
Well, my knife drawer is a testament, to my controlling still.
I was gonna say, what do you mean?
Put him down.
But when Harry was 2, there was no internet. I had no place to go. There were no resources. Yeah, I know. There were no resources, and as Harry said, the language just didn't exist. I would have loved to have been able to say to Harry, you're gender nonconforming, and there's a ton of kids like you, and you're going to find them, and you're going to have a wonderful life. But there was none of that. So parents today have a lot of resources online. They have groups like PFLAG, which are parent support groups.
They also have this book.
They have my
Son
book.
Wearing Heels.
Yes.
And Harry grew up a non-binary kid, but there was no term for that. In fact, I didn't learn the term non-binary until, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, after I'd written the book.
And can you tell us what non-binary technically means?
Well,
our viewers.
my understanding, as a mom who has learned, is that we think in terms of the binary, which is there's just either or. There's boy or girl, there's pink or blue, there's just 2 options. Most of our forms check your gender, male, female. And the idea of non-binary is a rejection of there's just an either or. That there is a whole lot of colors, there's a huge spectrum of colors, and that you can be neither boy or girl, or you could be both, but there is a place that is not necessarily defined by either or.
So when...
Thanks, honey.
Good job, Mom.
That's cute. So when Harry was 2 and he said that to you, what made you decide, oh, I want to love my child and let him know that he can be whatever he wants to be? And I ask that because we're from the South, and I know you grew up in the Midwest. You're from the Midwest, and that's traditionally not the thought process that a mom would have. So what made you choose, I'm going to say, the right path?
Well, you had your mother to thank for that, right?
Right. Well, I just decided whatever my mother would have done, I was going to do the opposite. But in all honesty, I did not want to be like my mother. That was sort of like the controlling thing. It was like, oh my God, I had this genetic stain of control and domineering. It was really Harry's dad and I had decided before Harry was born that if we did anything for our child, we were going to impart self-esteem, and good self-confidence. We wanted our child having that in the world. And of course, to love your kid unconditionally. How do you not love your kid? Harry at 2 years old was still the same baby that we had brought home from the hospital, you know, that we loved and adored. There was nothing about Harry that had changed. He just was able to tell us, which is why when I say that when I told Harry I knew he was a boy because of his body parts, today I would say to any parent, here's what I would say now. I would say, you know what, Harry, when you were born, the doctors told us that you were a boy based on your body parts. But you couldn't talk yet, and so the doctor didn't really know who you were inside, who you knew yourself to be. And so now you've told us, and doctors can be wrong.
Yeah. That's also a life lesson that we're all still learning, not even just about this topic, but in things
About everything.
in general.
You know what? That you just reminded me. If I could say something else to the parents out there, is that you can learn as much from your kid as you do for your kid. And a lot of my learning was about unlearning and then relearning.
I love that. And not judging yourself for having to do that.
Yeah. And that's
No.
scary. Like, I get
Of
it.
course.
Ambiguity is scary. Things that are unknown are scary. And it's easy to act from a place of fear and self-doubt. But, you know, when you have love and trust and confidence in your family and your support system and your community, you can overcome that and act from a place of love.
Yeah.
And that's how you further understanding and get closer together and learn more about yourself and, you know, come together.
But you've always had that attitude. My favorite part in the book is when you're dressed up, and I think your skirt and your wigs or whatever, and you leave the house, and Julie's freaking out because she doesn't know where you are, and the babysitter's like, oh, he's across the street with
The wig on.
the boys, you know? And that's my favorite part, because you were like, I don't care, this is me, I don't notice any different, and they didn't treat him any differently, right? So how are you, that's always been your mantra, just so confident and self-assured?
I mean, you know, fake it till you make it to some extent, right? I think it's actually it's a very sort of New York sensibility, actually, I think, to be able to, when you're able to project confidence, that's what you receive. You know, people pick up on that, and they're not going to mess with you if you have this aura that's like, I know what I'm doing here, I'm on the right path, get out of my way if you don't like it. So that's I think where my confidence comes from.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Parents can empower their kids to be strong and self-assured and be themselves.
Yeah.
I love
I love
that.
that.
I wish we had endless time, because I feel like we could talk to you guys for so long about this.
Well, we'll come back sometime.
Yeah, please come back. Please
Yes.
come back.
Absolutely.
But we want to play a game.
Yes, we want to play a game.
Okay.
Sure, you go.
Let's see. Our producers are telling me that Jasmine is coming in from the field, so let's
great.
let
We're
Jasmine come.
Jasmine's going to play the game with
Jasmine's
us.
gonna
Love
play
it.
with
Bring her
us.
in.
Yes.
Let's bring her back. Let's give her
bring
more
back.
airtime.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello, darling.
Just flew in. I just got off the subway.
Yes.
great.
I love that she takes her job so seriously that she will not let that handheld mic go.
No,
She is a
you got to take it
professional
with her. I
woman.
love it.
All right. So what's the game?
So this game is called Gay or Nay.
Oh, how fitting.
And nay is spelled Neigh, because this game is played thusly. I will read a name out, and you will tell me if it is the name of a drag queen or of a Kentucky Derby winning horse.
Nay.
Yes, so you can say nay. Yes.
I couldn't help myself.
But for those of you who have never played a game on our show before, this is how it works.
I usually win,
Well, okay, yeah.
but she messes up with the scoring.
No. So
It's
the thing with the games is that you may ask a question before we start, but once the game starts, you may not ask any questions.
Okay.
I will deduct points from anyone who asks a question. Do you have any questions? The floor is closed for questions.
Do we just shout out? Do we have to raise our hand?
I will allow that question.
Please allow.
Yeah, no. You just, I'll read the name, and then whoever raises
Okay.
their hand first, I'll call on you, and you tell me.
So it's not a question, it's
It's a name.
a name.
It's a name.
That
Yes.
wasn't a question, that was a statement.
And now the floor is closed for questions. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Gay or nay? Thunder Gulch. Braden.
Nay.
That's correct.
See, told you.
Genuine risk. Jasmine.
Gay.
That was a horse, actually. So,
I thought I knew her.
So it's a good drag name.
yeah. Eggs Benedict. I feel like I'm going to let Harry answer.
Gay.
Yes.
I was going to say gay too.
Citation. Julie.
Nay.
Correct.
What? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think I was at that one.
Let's see
Love
over here.
it.
One of these is going to be a trick question.
Oh, you know.
Jujubee. Rated.
Duh. Gay.
Okay.
I had to remember the name.
Peppermint. I'll let Jasmine answer.
It's my mint sister. Gay.
Yes.
Oh my, is that really?
No. Oh my God, no. If she's watching,
Hey,
call me,
girl.
girl.
Spend a buck.
Nay.
That's correct.
Were you at that one too?
No, but I kind of know about the
That should
Kentucky
be a drag
Derby.
queen name.
I
Spend a
guess
buck?
so.
Oh yeah, spend a buck.
Spend a buck on me, you know.
Lucky Debonair.
Gay.
No, that's a horse. Divine. Rated.
Gay, hello.
Yes.
That's what I would name my horse, though.
Yeah, right?
It seems like a good horse entry, yeah. Honey Mahogany. Let Harry answer.
Gay.
Yes.
This is a good, what's the score, do you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so, oh wow. It's very, very close. We're going to do a tiebreaker. Whoever gets this one right is going to be the winner because it's neck and neck. Except Brayden has one extra, but you don't count.
Let the
I won't
guests win.
answer.
Okay, here we go. For the game winner, it's all out on the line here. Fusayaki Pegasus. Jasmine.
Nay.
That is correct.
Oh.
Yes.
How do you chant that when they're running across the track?
I don't know. I like that name, though.
That's a good game.
Yes.
What
That's
a
good
fun game.
Yeah. She comes up with these all by herself.
Thank you guys for
Love
being
it.
here.
Thank
I
you
wish
so
we had
much.
endless
Thank
time,
you so
but
much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
if you want
I'm gonna
to
just touch
read
your pride.
more, you can go to mysonwearsheels.com.
Yep.
Yes.
Jasmine, can people find you maybe on Instagram?
Yes, they can. It's JAZZMINT.DASH.
Love it.
Wow.
And of course, you can. Harry, where can people find more about you?
I'm on Instagram as well. My handle is skirtsuit.
Yes.
Nice.
What's going on with Amber
One
Alert?
word. You know, Amber is available by special request only.
Yes.
Maybe we should get Amber on the show.
She has. Yes. If you get that budget up, we'll talk.
Okay.
Tyler's our
well,
new sponsor.
It's
so-
very early in the morning.
I hear
Yes.
you.
So, you know, unless you can get her from a gig the night before and just put her in a cab, she'll be here bright and
Okay,
early.
work.
We'll make it work.
Saturday morning live at 2 a.m.
Yes.
So, Julie, where can we find you besides mysonweartears.com?
I will be in the Pride Parade
Ooh,
Oh, nice.
with P-Flag.
cool.
And then I'll be stopping in at It Gets Better. We'll be over in Union Square.
Awesome.
And I'm touring around, talking to as many straight people as I can.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. That's awesome.
great. Well,
and you miss?
oh,
Where can we find
you can find me at youtube.com/Saturday Morning Live NYC.
You know what? You can find me there too.
Wow. Well, that's all the time we have today. We have to go because they're kicking us out of the studio. Thank you for being here.
Thank you guys. Happy
Bye,
Saturday.
everyone. Happy Saturday.